यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारि यमुनतीरवनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारि यमुनतीरवनचारि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरवनचारि यमुनतीरवनचारि जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव परिणाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय हरे कृष्णा devotees, welcome to daily Bhagavatam online class Iskcon Seshadripuram, Bangalore. We'll share the screen. In today's verses, there are two verses. Fourth canto, second chapter, verse number 19 and 20. I'm repeating, fourth canto, second chapter, verse number 19 and 20. Right. निषिध्यमानः स सदस्य मुख्यैर्दक्षो गिरित्राय विसर्ज्य तापं तस्मात् विनिष्क्रमय विवृद्धा मन्युर्जगाम कौरव्य निजं निकीर्तनम् निषिद्यमानः स सद्य मुक्ते दक्षो गिरित्राय विसर्ज्य शापम् तस्मात् विनिष्क्रमय विवृद्धा मन्युः जगाम जगाम कौरव्य निजं निकीर्तनम् synonyms. There are two verses. We will read the next verse, then we will come back. विज्ञाय शापं गिरिसानुगार गिरिसानुगाग्रनिर् विज्ञाय शापं गिरिसानुगाग्रनिर् गिरिशा अनुगाग्रणिः नन्दीश्वरो रोष कषाय दुषिक्तः दक्षाय शापं विससर्ज्य दारुणं ये चान्वमोदं तद् अवाच्यतं द्विजा विज्ञाय शापं गिरिसनुगाग्रणिर् नन्दीश्वरो रोष कषाय दुषिक्तः दक्षाय शापं विसर्ज्य दारुणम् ये चन्वमोदं तद् अवाच्यतां द्विजः. Read word to word translation of both the verse. Nishidyamanah, being requested not to, sa, he, daksha, sadasya, mukyahi, by the members of the sacrifice, daksha, gritraya, to Shiva, visarjya, giving, sapam, a curse, tasmat, from that place, vinishkramaya, going out, vivirda manyahi, being exceedingly angry, jagama, went, kauravya, O Vidura, nijam, to his own, nikittanam, home. Translation and purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. 19th verse translation. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, in spite of the request of all the members of the sacrificial assembly, Daksha in greater anger cursed the Lord Shiva and then left the assembly and went back to his home. Purport. Anger is so detrimental that even a great personality like Daksha, out of anger, left the arena where Brahma was presiding and all the great sages and pious and saintly persons were assembled. All of them requested him not to leave, but infuriated, he left, thinking that the auspicious place was not fit for him, puffed up by his exalted position. He thought that no one was greater than he in argument. It appears that all the members of the assembly, including Lord Brahma, requested him not to be angered and leave their company. But in spite of all these requests, he left. This is the effect of cruel anger. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, it is advised that one who desires to make tangible advancement in spiritual consciousness must avoid three things: lust, anger, and mode of passion. Actually, we can see the lust, anger, and passion make a man crazy, even though he be as great as Daksha. The very name Daksha suggests that he was expert in all material activities, but still, because of his aversion towards such a saintly personality as Shiva, He was attacked by these three enemies: anger, lust, and passion. Lord Chaitanya therefore advised that one be very careful not offend Vaishnavas. He compared offenses toward a Vaishnava to a mad elephant. As a mad elephant can do anything horrible, so when a person offends a Vaishnava, he can perform an abominable action. The second verse, word to word translation. Vijnaya, understanding, Chapam, the curse, Girisha, of Shiva, Anuga, Agranihi, one of the principal associates, Nandishwaraha, Nandishwara, Rosha, anger, Shaya, red, Dushitaha, blinded, Dakshaya, to Daksha, Sapam, a curse, Visasarja, gave, Darunam, harsh, Ye, who, Cha, and Anvamodan, tolerated, Tat Avachayam, Tam, the cursing of Shiva, Dvajaha, Brahmanas. Translation. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva had been cursed, Nandishwara, one of Lord Shiva's principal associates, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Daksha's cursing. Shiva in harsh words. Purport. There is a long-standing discussion among some of the neophyte Vaishnavas and Saivites. They are always at loggerheads. When Daksha cursed Lord Shiva in harsh words, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. Nandishwara was affected by the cursing, but he did not follow the example of Lord Shiva, who was also present there. Although Lord Shiva could also have cursed Daksha in a similar way, he was silent and tolerant. But Nandishwara, his follower, was not tolerant. Of course, as a follower, it was right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master. But he should not have cursed the Brahmanas who were present. The entire issue was so complicated that those who were not strong enough forget their position, and thus cursing the counter cursing went on in that great assembly. In other words, the material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishwara, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. So here the purport of both the verses over. ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकमह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सयन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहनललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुतदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Bhagavatam class, Iskcon Seshadripuram. And fourth canto, second chapter, 19 and 20th verse. And today what we are going to discuss, I will tell first, then we will get into the subject matter. First we will do the chapter connectivity, sorry, the canto, which canto we are in, and then the chapter where we are, and the brief introduction with the previous verses, and then we will get into today's verse. And today's verse mainly focused on two things. One is about anger, and another one is about Vaishnava Aparadha. I'm repeating, one is about anger, and another one is about Vaishnava Aparadha. With a brief introduction to the canto, the fourth canto deals about Vidura requested Maitreya to speak about Swayambho Manu's dynasty in third canto. So Swayambho Manu dynasty, the third canto, which we discussed more elaboratedly, that is the subject matter here, and then here we were here we are uh, uh, come across in the fourth canto the descendants of Manu, the daughters of Manu, Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, and Uttanapada are described. So this is the subject matter. So in that, Akuti and Devahuti, Uttanapada is not subject to our discussion. Our discussion is from Prasuti. So Prasuti's lineage, among the descendants of Manu's daughter, uh, and then the Daksha's sacrifice. So it comes under Prasuti, the Daksha's sacrifice. So that moves from second chapter to the seventh chapter. Right now we are in the second chapter, that is called this particular subject matter is Daksha's sacrifice. So while describing the descendants of Prasuti, Sukadeva informed that Sati. So Sukadeva, see the discussion going on. As I mentioned, the daughters of Manu, one of the daughter Prasuti. Then immediately Sukadeva informed that Sati, daughter of Prasuti, gave up her body because her father was unfavorable to Shiva. She left the body, Sati. So how could Daksha hate Shiva? So let us understand why. What is the reason behind Daksha to get angry on Lord Shiva? Here at sacrificial arena, Daksha insulted. So Daksha insulted and cursed Shiva. So what made him to insult Lord Shiva as well as cursing Shiva is for not rising from seat and respecting Daksha. So when there is a sacrifice going on, Daksha is a very great. He is a head for Prajapati. Right? Such a great position he has got, and he is the son of Brahma. And Brahma gave very good responsibility for progeniating, this world, and he obeyed his father's instruction. Then he started doing that. So that is his position, but it doesn't mean that one should come to that. Oh, I am so opulent in my life, so I have to have this. What do you say? In the purport Prabhupada used uh, headlong or something. So here the point is, when Daksha was cursing Lord Shiva, then immediately Lord Shiva's follower Nandi also cursed Daksha and his followers. Daksha's followers and Nandi, uh, everyone being cursed by Nandi also. But Lord Shiva's position is he was keep very humble and he's keeping calm. Then so all this become so messed up. Then Bhrigu also started cursing Shiva's followers. So Bhrigu also a son of Brahma. So like that, Bhrigu also got wild because of Nandi's uh, behavior. Then Bhrigu Muni also started cursing the Lord Shiva's followers. So in that connection, uh, we have to be mindful whenever we get angry, right? What is the reason behind see for every anger we can show, so we can tell so many reasons, but Here, what is his mood? He thinks that no one was greater than he in argument. That means he is so learned. He is a son of a Brahma. That was the mood of Daksha here. Daksha thinks, I am so great personality. Yes, obviously he is a great personality, no doubt about it. So he is a head for Prajapati, but it doesn't mean that he is, everybody should give respect, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in many places, if you give respect, don't expect, that is one of the, don't expect in return. So that is one of the Vaishnava's quality. So one should be mindful and the perfect Lord Chaitanya therefore advised that one be very careful not to offend a Vaishnava. So even in Bhagavad Gita, more elaboratedly, it is mentioned that avoid three things. One is lust, anger, and the mode of patience. So these two subject matters we will discuss in detail. So one is Vaishnava Aparadh and another one is lust, anger, and the mode of patience. So what is this Vaishnava Aparadh? Let us just peep into this Vaishnava Aparadh. So Vaishnava Aparadh is compared with mad elephant offense. What this mad elephant will do, the entire field will get destroyed, or what will happen, nobody knows. That is what. So, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned Aparada. So let us discuss, few points about the Vaishnava Aparada. Then we will get into this anger, lust, and mode of patience. According to Bhagavad Gita. Today we are going to discuss two things. One is Vaishnava Aparada, and another one is about the anger, lust, and then mode of patience. So in the Vaishnava Aparadha, it is mentioned in the fourth canto. Aparadha means offense. That means Vaishnava Aparadha. Vaishnava we all know. And if one commits Vaishnava Aparadha, all of his progress in devotional service will be checked. So this is very, 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 the devotee should be very, very mindful. So what happened, in the past times? One full year had to travel all over the universe, even to Vaikuntha Loka, to defend himself for the offense. At last, even when approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vaikuntha, he was refused protection. So even the Lord could not protect the one who is committing the Vaishnava Aparadha. That much severe point it is. Therefore, one should be very careful about committing offences at the feet of Vaishnava. So, that is the severity of the Vaishnava offense. Because Lord also cannot save. Automatically it will be, the auto program. Automatically it will get activated. So the finally, only from that Vaishnava, the one who has committed a mistake should go to that Vaishnava and ask for the pardon. So it is only through the Vaishnava mercy that offense or that aparata could be neutralized. And the next point, the most grievous type of Vaishnava aparat is called Guru aparata. So this is another bigger sin. Mistake is Guru aparata. So among the 10 offenses committed against the chanting of the holy name, 10 aparats in the holy name. The first offense or disobedience of the spiritual master and blasphemy of the Vedic literature. Two things, the Guru and the Vedic literatures are very, very, very important for even for argument's sake. Don't speak in the intention of in this scripture. This is what the problem is there. That is there. This is there. I know better than that. That is the approach. Or even for argument's sake, don't put your gurus down. Even if the Prabhupada in many places he had told even the guru may by mistake here and there while conveying some problem may be there. But even though the disciple should have pani prashna in a sevya. The way you approach it doesn't mean that it is granted. Oh my dear guru, you are doing this that and that. So you should have that way of conveying. That is most important. Guru Vakya. Sometimes we cannot understand, Guru Vakya it has got some multiple meanings. The Shishya cannot understand that. Always the Shishya should have patiently wait and listen when why my Guru spoken like that. It will be revealed by the Lord one time. We should have patience. Or we can inquire humbly. Nothing wrong in this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, third point. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has described the Vaishnava aparad or offense to Vaishnava, the mad elephant. So this mad elephant offense, the mad elephant, what it will do? Because uh, we cannot get it back. Whatever the wordings we lose, right? Like Shishupala, what happened to Shishupala, right? We all know. Even Narada Muni allowed Daksha to speak. Daksha cursed uh, Narada Muni also for protecting all his children. He got in the procreation, the progeny. Uh, Daksha created so many thousands and thousands of children. So all these children with so much materially contaminated, Narada Muni only liberated all of them from this contamination. For that, he has become so wild. Daksha becomes so wild and then cursed even Narada Muni. Narada Muni knows, but even though he wants to see that he is a very uh, you are very pious person, so like that he was thinking and waiting for giving a chance for Daksha. We have to be very careful when we get anger mood, right? That means it's like a candle burning ourselves, right? So, and the Vaishnava aparadh cannot be atoned for any means other than by begging the pardon of the offended Vaishnava. What is the medicine? Okay, if at all I committed Vaishnava aparadh by mistake or unknowingly or because of ajnana, then what should we do? One should go and ask, pardon to that offended Vaishnava. So that is most important. Our ego will not allow. Oh, why? No, I am only correct. This, that. That is not the recommended mood for any Vaishnava. So as we discussed, the mad elephant, when it enters into the garden, it destroys everything, leaving a barren field. Similarly, the power of Vaishnava aparadha is so great that even an advanced devotee becomes almost devoid of his spiritual assets if he commits it. Even the senior devotees are so-called, we claim that, I took this responsibility because of me. It has come for whatever it may be the reason, but one should have the tolerance. The peace, so, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised, we should have a tolerance, whatever the level of progress, whatever that humbleness. Humble is the first lesson in the spiritual progress. Likewise, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was introducing Rupa Goswami at Dasavam, Dasavameda Ghata in Prayaga, he pointed out very clearly the seriousness of offending a Vaishnava. He compared the Vaishnava aparadha to Hatimata, a mad elephant. So this is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In many places, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized about the anger and Vaishnava aparadha. And then unconsciously, King Rahugana offended Jadabharata. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, Jadabharata. But due to his good sense, he asked to be excused. This is the process by which one can be relieved from the Vaishnava aparadha. So the point from 5.10.24 is, whatever you have spoken appears to me to be contradictory. O best friend of the distressed, I have committed a great offense by insulting you. See the mood. I was puffed up with false prestige due to possessing the body of a king. So this Rahugana thinks that I am a king. For this I have certainly become an offender. Therefore I pray that you kindly glance at me with your causeless mercy. If you do so, I can be relieved from sinful activity brought about by insulting you. This is the mood. Though the person is a king, Rahugana, right? Jadabharata is a wonderful devotee. So, Krishna is always very simple and by nature merciful. When one commits an offense at the feet of a Vaishnava, one must immediately apologize to such a personality so that his spiritual advancement may not be hampered. What is the punishment? There is no further progress. Right? That is a punishment. Then from the seventh canto, it is emphasized one should therefore very carefully guard against committing Vaishnava aparadh or offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. One should handle very carefully, not like loosely speaking or loosely handling. Like for example, seventh canto, fourth chapter, 28th verse, when Hiranyakashipu teases the great devotee Prahlada, his own son, who is peaceful and sober and who has no enemy, I shall kill Hiranyakashipu immediately, despite the benedictions of Brahma. Right? So he got some power. Brahma's power we all know. So whatever Brahma could give, even Vishnu and Krishna can give more than that. But he thought that I got so much of power. There is a mood. Materially, we are so contaminated. I have this, I have that. The words and the behavior. Practically, we can understand when we come across any relatives, we come across any professional life in our office, the way they communicate, the way one keeps themselves, the way others being responding, one could observe all these things. And ninth canto gives the glimpse about this Vaishnava opera. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura remarks that Saubari Muni had fallen from his austerity because of a Vaishnava opera. Let us peep into the detail. Thereafter, one day, while Saubari Muni, who was expert in chanting mantras, was sitting on a secluded place, he thought to himself about the cause of his fall down, which was simply that he had associated himself with the sexual affairs of the fish. Right? So this is a offense. One should be very mindful. And in the same ninth canto, to envy other devotees is a great offense. Oh, that devotee has got very good followers. Oh, that devotee has got good. Among the disciples, we can find he is pleasing, she is pleasing. The guru, or I am doing my seva is greater, like that. So that is also a Vaishnava opera. Not that. Though it is Hanuman Seva or Squirrel Seva, Lord will see the bhakti. Lord will not see how much load you take. Yes, obviously there is a point in withstanding so much of load, but that is also matter. But doesn't mean that it is granted. Lord knows. We leave it to the Lord. Right? Say for example, the students. Student life. After writing the exam, we are so worried about the result. Don't worry about the result. So you have done a preparation. You have given your best. Right? Don't worry much about the result. Or if he gets or she gets better result, what is my position? Don't get into that mood. Be in that mood. I have prepared. I have put my 100% effort. I have written the exam. Result you leave it, right, to the Lord. Yes. And then in 10th canto, persons who are too much offensive, who commit Vaishnava aparadha or offenses to sadhu, will have to take some time before being rectified. We know the sadhu sangha, sarva sastra khaya, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi haya. You take little bit of sadhu sangha, then automatically we will get purified, or we will get sarva siddhi. Right? The person who are too much offensive, who commit Vaishnava aparadh or offenses to sadhu, will have to take some time before being rectified. That means it takes some time, to have sadhu sangha. We keep on immediately. I cannot be perfect. So slowly, this is the medicine. So we should have the atmosphere. So immediately we should not leave that atmosphere. Oh, I will leave this seva. I will, give it up. Some other devotee can take up this. Like that mentality is not recommended, right? Slowly you be in that atmosphere. Observe what best you can do when your turn comes. You can also do that, right? So that gives the maturity. So keep on, we can. So one point from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, as a mad elephant may trample all the plants in the garden. So that is the severity of the Vaishnava Parava. One should be mindful when getting into this Vaishnava Aparadha. यदि वैष्णव अपराध उते हति माता उपादे वा चिंदे तारा सुखी याय पाता. As a mad elephant may trample all the plants in a garden, so by committing one offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, one may spoil all the devotional service he has accumulated in his life. We have to be so mindful and so careful when we commit any unknowingly also. This is what take home from Vaishnava Aparaj. There are many places Prabhupada also quoted the Vaishnava Aparaj. It is very, very offensive. In Prabhupada lecture, he says this Vaishnava Aparad is very, very offensive and greatest dangerous offense. Among the offense, greatest dangerous offense. Vishnu Aparatha can be excused. God is very kind, but he never excused Vaishnava Aparatha. That is his wow. Right? We know the Brahumuni story, right? So what was the Brahumuni's pastimes? Brahumuni is the son of Brahma. Once he traveled to Brahmaloka, then immediately Brahma comes to embrace him, oh my dear son, like that. Then he has not given even a smile, simply he just, boycott his father's affection, just simply he moved. Then he felt, so, what to say, so offended, no, so my son is not having, having a smile in his face or something like that. Father and son relationship, we know. Then he moved to, Brahmuni moved to Kailaya, where Lord Shiva resides. And then Lord Shiva comes and tries to hug, oh my dear son of Brahma, like that. Then he used so abusing words, saying that you are a person who lives in a graveyard. Your body smells and your body is full of ashes. Please don't come any closer to me, like that. He offended through wording. Then he went to Vishnu Loka. There, Vishnu was there, and what is that Nidra? Yoga Nidra or something. So he was in that position. Immediately he went and kicked on Vishnu's chest. Then what was the response from Vishnu? Vishnu said, "Oh my dear Bhrigu, what happened?" He's like a grandson. Oh my dear Bhrigu, what happened to your? So we say, grandfather's affection. So my son kicked on my chest. When any or my grandson is kicking on my chest, though it is painful, I am enjoying it like that. So immediately, Lord says, "Oh my dear Bhrigu, what happened to your leg? My chest is like a vajra. No, it's so strong. What happened to your leg?" That was the mood of the Lord. But Lord cannot accept, the offense which is committed to a Vaishnava. For him it is okay. For Bhrigu, there is a forgiveness. Right? Lord has given forgiveness to Brahumuni. But you see this offense, Durvasa. We know the Durvasa. What happened? He released the Sudarsana Chakra. What happened? So that is the take-home message from this Vaishnava Aparad. And then few points from Nectar of Devotion. So disrespect to another devotee is a great offense. That is also a Vaishnava Aparad. Some places, some devotee has to take the credit. By mistake, we may be, put in that position, but we should not forget that we should give that credit to that concerned devotee only. And also, we should not express any disrespect to another. Yes, as a guru Shishya relationship, it is okay. Even guru can criticize, can chastise. Right? None of, though he is my junior, we could not tell to them. No, the junior does not know. Senior has to tell that. In what way to tell, the senior knows. Only the junior could not realize that. That is the problem. That is the reason they have been identified as a junior. Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. Right? So when I am in Kanishta Adhikari stage, sometimes I may imitate Uttama Adhikari. That is okay. But Uttama Adhikari knows what is your behavior. Only the Kanishta Adhikari does not realize that what is this. So it is a very serious offense once again, from nectar of devotion. And out of all kinds of aparadhas, offenses, Vaishnava aparadha is the most dangerous. Right? It's not excused even by the Vishnu. Right? Like Ambrisha. Ambrisha, he could not, the devotee, Durvasa, the Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, in the lecture, yes, yes, Durvasa Muni, he was offended to Ambrish Maharaj. He was not excused by even Vishnu. He had to fall down on the feet of Maharaj Ambrisha. Right? Maharaj Ambrisha is a Kshatriya. Maharaj Ambrisha is a Grihastha. But Durvasa is a renounced. Durvasa had fallen into the feet of Ambrisha. So you see how severe this Vaishnava approach. So it is the greatest offense. We have to be so careful when we speak, when we think, when we act. Like when Bhrigu Muni's, pastimes, we could understand, these pastimes for what? So even the Lord will forgive if anything offended to the Lord, but the Lord will not forgive like Prahlad Maharaj. Right? These three offenses. One is through mind. Don't think bad about any devotees, and then wording. Don't use any harsh words or any. If you fault finding nature, uh, you know, my Guru Maharaj, his Holiness Jayapadar Swami Guru Maharaj, we attended a Pandal program in Bangalore. Devotees brought so many temple matter issues, this temple, that temple, some issues. So Maharaj told this particular message. See, you may find 90% negativity of somebody with whom you are associating. Don't focus on that 90%. The 10% some good quality will be there that you catch hold of from that person, then our relationship will be long lasting or it never falls. We always find fault only. So that is our fallen condition. So we should not get into all those mood. We should find. Then only we are qualified to be a Paramahamsa. What is the definition of Paramahamsa? The solution for I'm just trying to give some glimpse about how to come out of this aparad and anger. So this solution to this Vaishnava aparad, being away from Vaishnava aparad is we should be like a Paramahamsa. What is the meaning of Paramahamsa? That bird, you keep water also, milk also mixing together. This particular bird will take out only the milk, it leaves the water there. Right? See how what a great quality. That is the quality. That should be the quality of Vaishnava. Then we never find any fault. Samayojita Panditaha. So the Pandita will see every action and reaction that is from the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. See the position of Narada Muni. See the position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See the position. Prabhupada always quotes, the Jesus, right? Jesus is a messenger of God. He came, to preach the message of, his Father Christ. He came and he gave this message, but people vanished him, right? So that means we should be mindful about the qualities, but what extent, we are going for preaching. And even in our parampara, it is there like Nityananda Vamsa. Nityananda Vamsa means for preaching they'll go to the any extent. Sometimes they may leave the body also. That is the mercy, Patita Pavana, Paradukha Dukhi. Prabhupada come across how many, heart attack in this age. The India boat owner, she was telling, oh, old man, in this age, if you go, you will die. Don't go to America. The place is so cold, you cannot withstand in that. But Prabhupada took, all this risk, how many heart attack, how much, in the old age he struggled, there is no proper, financial support, there is no proper infrastructure, fully depend on Krishna. At least, we have to take, following the footsteps, not to take too much risk also. At the same time, even Prabhupada mercy, you see, sometimes Prabhupada will say, if any devotee is going for book distribution, any seva, Prabhupada says, you have even grind prasad. So they can say, but are we qualified for that, excuses? These things are, useful for thinking on this Vaishnava Aparad and how to come out of Vaishnava Aparad. Like even some, this is the last point about Vaishnava Aparad. Then we will move to the next topic. So here, in the morning walk, so Vaishnava Aparada, the weak and the fools, they will victimize what can be done. So there is a conversation between Prabhupada and others. So Prabhupada says, yes, what can be done? Cheaters there are. That means if you want to be cheated, who can save you? He has made a guru without asking his guru. He submits to others the how we can save him. So this is a conversation. And one devotee was asking, Kamala Krishna, asking, it's called the elephant offense. I mean, Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has advised, save yourself from aparatha, some aparatha, and they are going away just like Nitai, so going out. So that means Vaishnava aparatha, the weak and fools, they will be victimized. What can be done? Tirtha Guru. Tirtha Guru, the Panda is accepted Tirtha Guru, that but he takes to Jagannath temple and other holy places, gives him instruction about the holy places and so on. So on, shelter, food in this way. Kamala Krishna, there is such thing. Prabhupada, yes, because I am unknown, so he helps me in every respect. So Vaishnava accepts everyone as Guru, Diksha Guru, Tirtha Guru. This is no harm, but what is this rascal? No, no. If you cannot sit down here, you take the flag and pay me 100 rupees. If you are so rascal, who can save you? So Prabhupada, mood is when you go to any dham or something, be mindful with how to deal with the devotees there. So that kind of conversation it is. So that means Vaishnava Aparad being emphasized here. So with this simple, references from Srimad Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and morning walk lecture from Prabhupada. So with that, we will move to the next important topic after the Vaishnava Aparad, from where this anger comes, right? So according to this 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita, divine and demonic nature. So we all know what is meant by divine means the devotee or Vaishnava qualities, the demonic nature. So in this there are 26 divine qualities mentioned and there are 6 demonic qualities mentioned here. So, so that is the beauty of the 16th chapter. And in the 16th chapter, last 4 or 5 verses, it is mentioned the 3 gates leading to soul's degradation. The 3 gates leading to the soul's degradation is lust, anger, and greed. This only degrades. This is one of the demonic mentality. So here it is mentioned lust, anger, and patience. So here the greed also one of the patience mode of patience. And every sane man should give this up, act for purification, and attain the supreme destination. Instead of acting under the control of these, one should act according to Shastra. Let us see from verse number 21 to 24. What is that? Subject matter about anger, lust, and greed. So in the verse number 21, it is mentioned that escaping to the supreme, that means getting free from the demonic quality. There are 3 gates to hell. The first 2 verses describe 3 gates to hell. If at all anybody wants to go to hell, the 3 gates. What are those 3 gates? Lust, anger, and greed. How does one become demonic and get cast into hellish life, as mentioned in the previous verses also? But here it is mentioned that there are 3 gates to hell: lust, anger, and greed. That is what Durvasa is facing here. And why one should give up these 3 gates? Because they lead to degradation of the soul. Definitely. So that the anger will make us degradation from the soul perception, the bodily. What is the point here is he was so puffed up with his position because he is a leader of the Prajapatis, and he is progeniting his father's instruction, Brahma's son. Even Lord gives very beautiful wife for him to give thousands of thousands children. This one. So with that position, he was feeling so greed, anger, lust like that. But now, how to give up? By controlling these qualities, one escape from demonic life. So how to control this? Attain. Then only we can attain the happiness. How to control? See, there is a word, Goswami. Goswami means the master of the senses. But are we the master of the senses? It's a big question mark. No, we are always serving our senses. That is a problem with us. We all are Godasa. That is a problem. So actions of one who escapes these three gates, he performs acts conducive to self-realization and attains supreme destination. So the one who gives up these three, what is that? Lust, anger, and greed, they will escape from the reaching to the three gates of hell. Then extreme danger from three gates. No, if Faktal I fails to follow, what will happen? They can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility from this material entanglement. They will be Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam. That is the point. And thus they lead to degradation of soul. So they will fall, whatever the climb they go, right? Very nice, birth, all the six opulences. The one who provided with very much, wealth, with all powerful, any of these six opulences of Bhagwan, if any one possess, they will degrade from that question to the next question undoubtedly. And basis of whole method and prescription of Vedic literature is there are 4 points we have to think in this time. The entire method is based on giving up lust and anger. You have to give up lust and anger. Anything is material karma, that is lust. If I am not fulfilling that karma, then I will get anger. The more one gives up, the more his existence becomes pure. The more one gives up. Keep on you add this chanting of Mahamantra, the lust and anger will fly away from the devotee's mind. Because the devotee will become soul perspective, not on the mental platform or the material platform. Then he can follow all the rules and regulations and gradually rise to spiritual realization. So then, when you put this chanting process, reading the scriptures, hearing of pastimes of the Lord, automatically these two things will vanish. Thus, one can rise to the platform of Krishna consciousness. This is the only process. How this Vedic system is practically instituted in the form of Varnashrama duty, which help in gradual elevation to the highest platform of spiritual realization and liberation. One should be so mindful to get into this, getting away from this. So the Shastra, here it is mentioned in the purport about the Shastra. We will discuss about the Shastra. Need to follow Shastra, first one. Why we need to follow the Shastra? To control and regulate these demonic qualities. What are the demonic qualities? Lust, anger, mode of patience. These are the demonic qualities. One must follow, scriptural injunction for the purpose of gradual elevation. It is not that in a spiritual life, no one could claim that I have arrived. Right? See the mood of Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, "What I am speaking is perfect, but I may not be perfect." What my Guru Maharaj is saying, he is telling, see, Prabhupada started this movement at the age of 70, and at the age of 70 only I am, realizing that I have so much of responsibility still, right? Irrespective of his health condition. Right? See the mood of pure Vaishnavas. And result of not following Shastra. This is the last point under this Bhagavad Gita's message on this lust, anger, and mode of patience. The result of not following the Shastra, if one disregards scriptural injunction and acts according to his own whims There is neither perfection nor happiness nor supreme destination. One should be mindful about all these things. Destination of whimsical acts. What is the destination of whimsical acts? Condemned by the Supreme Lord. So I do, according to me, no, not like that. Cannot have perfection which meant for the human life. We never attain the perfection. Importance of rules in human life. Rules and regulations are meant to purify one's existence and attain the real stage of happiness. Why the Siksha rounds in our temple, all our parampara systems? Why we insist on Siksha rounds, follow regulative principles. And once Prabhupada, one devotee, Western devotee has Prabhupada, still I have some habit of this four regulative principles. Can I get Diksha like that? No, minimum four regulative principles one should follow. And one devotee asked, Prabhupada, I am maintaining, this four regulative principles. Am I a Vaishnava? No, now only you have become a human being. To become a Vaishnava, there are another 64 qualities are there. So like that, Prabhupada insisted. So with this, you know, uh, little information, I'd like to stop here. And once again, thanks to temple authorities for giving me this opportunity. Quickly, I'll summarize. Today, two subject matter only we discussed. One is about anger, and then lust, and then mode of passion, and then Vaishnava Aparadha. So, in connection with Daksha and Lord Shiva. And Daksha got angry because of his position. He is the leader of that particular assembly. And Lord Shiva did not stand when he was coming. So that was his anger, and the behavior was not acceptable by the entire arena. And even Nandi also got into, even Brahmuni also. The total place becomes so mess because of lust, anger, and mode of passion, which is totally condemned in the bhakti process. So these are the recap for whatever we have discussed. Once again, thanks to all the devotees. Here I'd like to stop. If there are any sharings, you are welcome. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much
Hare.
for emphasizing and re-emphasizing on the Vaishnava Prad, which is the worst thing that can hit the creeper of Bhakti Lata. And as you rightly said, the beautiful garden which has been plowed for over a period of time, if the mad elephant enters into one's, it tramples all the beautiful flowers, trees, uproots the trees and all of that. So as devotees, as practicing devotees and as bhaktas, I think the most important part of it is to ensure that we don't commit any Vaishnava Aparadha. And every devotee has to be very, very, very careful of this aparadha. So thank you very much for bringing it out so nicely, and it was, it was very nicely put across. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thanks very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we will stop the session here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna.